Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is all about advice for the workplace for medical coders. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue. I'm a medical coder. I have been a medical coder for over 10 years. The reason I created my channel is the hope of sharing all of my experiences and everything that I've been through and all the tips and tricks that I've come up with along the way with all of you. So I hope that you'll take a second, hit that subscribe button. I hope that you'll hit the like button. And at the end, if this video helps you, I hope that you will share it. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so what do I mean today's episode, right? It's advice for the workplace for medical coders. I am going to have another episode this week about dealing with coworkers, but I wanted to start today with the individual coder. And the moral of the story today, I'm going to start out with that, okay? Because you guys know, if you've watched any of my other videos, you guys know that I like to get to the point first whenever I'm reading a record, right? I always go to the assessment and plan section because I want to know what happened. This is what happened, okay? Or this is the moral of the story. To do what you mean and mean what you say, okay? That is the whole thing. Do what you mean and mean what you say. This means that however you are thinking of a situation, whether it's good or bad, you are going to try your best to convey those emotions in the proper way. This means to be real and not be where you feel like you have to be a certain way or you have to change yourself because just to please other people. You can be yourself and be professional. You can be yourself and be clear with your emotions and your ideas and everything else. It's all about how you are approaching things. Now, I talk a lot about going through the Arbinger Institute. I went through their classes and I learned a lot. But I also learned a lot just from doing my own research and finding out what works best for me. I'm always trying to better myself as a person because I feel like if you are constantly trying to push yourself to be a better person, the better the relationships around you become. Now, I have learned a lot in my over 10 years being at this facility, and this is the longest I've ever been at a job for medical coding, okay? I've been a medical coder for just over 10 years, so I'll let you guys do the math on that one. But this is the longest time I've ever been in a facility, and I've learned a lot just from being at this facility. I've learned that yes, while it would be great if other people around me would change, I know that for me, I need to make sure that I keep myself in check, my emotions in check, and how I'm expressing myself in check. So today's advice is about looking in the mirror at yourself and looking at how you respond to other people and looking at your overall goals and what is it that you really want in your professional life. The more genuine you can be in your professional life, the better your relationships are. I hear a lot of comments lately. Blue, you seem so genuine. You seem very sincere in your videos. That's because I am. What you see is what you get. How I am with you guys is how I am in real life. You mean when the camera gets turned off and I'm at work, whenever I do go back to work, because we're still quarantined at home. I can't wait to go back to the hospital, guys. I really can't. I miss my boys. I really do, and my girls. But I really do miss them. But that aside, how I am in real life is how I am on here. So I am very genuine, and if I do sound genuine or I do seem sincere, it's because I am. I don't have any other way to be other than myself. And there's been a lot of people that, well, Blue, if you did this, and well, Blue, if you did that. The only things that I take any kind of criticism is criticism that is meant to be constructive. I don't take, well, this person wants to change me because of this, or this person has a motive because of this. No, that's not going to work for me. Because the thing is, the only way I can be is myself. The only way that I feel like I can be successful is if I truly am genuine with who I am and people know 100% of the time where they stand with me. And I can do this in a very professional way. Yes, there's times when, we all get upset with a coworker, or we all get upset with, our boss, or we all get upset, with a friend. There's those times. But there's times when you get upset like that you can step back and say, you know what? I'm just going to table this situation right now. I'm going to walk away, take a deep breath, get myself together collectively, because no productive conversations can come out of heightened emotion. None. No matter what happens, if you get into a situation where you are in a heightened state of emotion, you can call a timeout. Now, I've had to do this before. I've had to call a timeout because before I learned how to do this, of course I would get upset just like everybody else. And then yelling does no good, okay? And then it leads to hurt feelings, and this person, doesn't like me or whatever. Now when I know somebody doesn't like me, it's okay. It's okay because their emotions towards me does not matter. What matters to me is my point being made? Am I being clear enough that the people around me understand, right? And am I giving the person the respect to know that we can still work together regardless of what our emotions are? And see, that's the thing. Some people can't do that. Some people, it's very difficult, and they don't want to work with somebody that they just can't connect with. And if you can put yourself aside, and if you can put your own emotions aside, that leads to greater success. Because the thing is, you're able to connect with much more people genuinely. You can agree to disagree, and there's always going to be that. There's always going to be that agree to disagree. But your actions need to mirror what you're saying. If you are willing to work with people that you don't necessarily get along with, then you need to show that, because otherwise it's just going to be lip service. And you don't want to be somebody that just gives lip service. I refuse to be somebody that just gives lip service, which is why I take a proactive approach. Again, why I created my channel, because I wanted to be somebody's voice that could connect with, if you had questions, or if you wanted to know what somebody's experience was like getting into the field, or what it's like being a coder on a daily basis. I still have my my day in the life of a medical coder videos, which do actually very well. They get viewed very well because I guess people want to know. One of them has over 20,000 views, which is incredible when I think about it. It's overwhelming because it's just like, wow, really? But I say everything that I say is the truth, and that is the one thing that you can be guaranteed of. If you really show genuine and true emotion, you can make a lot better connections than if you were trying to overthink of, oh, well, this person, I don't want to say this because I don't want to offend this person. I don't want to offend this person. You can say your thoughts and your beliefs without being offensive. Okay, it is all about sharpening your personality skills, which is why I did the video today about coders, and then the coworkers one, it will be on the next, will be in a couple of days. But I just wanted you guys to know that when you're doing something, mean it. And when you are nice with somebody, let it be genuine. If somebody has something wonderful happen to them, like a coworker, maybe gets a new credential or something, or they're going back to school, or they graduated or whatever, if you're really sincerely happy for them, tell them that you're sincerely happy for them. If you are not, then don't say anything. Because the thing is, the energy that you put out is the energy that you're going to get back. And that it surprises a lot of people, especially when they talk to me, or even coworkers. When I've met new people that I'm going to be working with, or that they've heard of me through other people, they say, "Wow, you really are, you really are nice, or you really are very engaged." Yeah, I am. There's no other way for me to be. And I think it's too exhausting to be something that you're not. And I refuse to be something that I'm not. I always have to be myself. And I always want to get better because I always want to even connect with people that don't necessarily agree. And you don't have to agree with me. I mean, that would make the world boring, right? But my point is that if you're going to do anything, do it all the way and be as genuine as you possibly can, because being genuine is really what is going to spark that connection with other people. Whenever I'm giving a class to my providers, they can see all of the work that I put into the slides. They can see all the work that I put into the presentation and everything. And then when they hear me talk about it, sometimes they laugh because they say, "Well, Blue, you're so passionate about it. You're so worked up about it." I am, because the thing is, I want them to know and understand that these things are important. And if I'm trying to be the advocate for them, which is what I think of when I think of myself with my providers, is that I'm advocating for them as much as I possibly can, based on what their documentation is. And I always want to advocate for them to get better with their documentation so that they can make sure that they are getting full credit for everything. I want them to know that that is my goal for them. And then sometimes I think that they don't see this, and I don't do this so that I want them to see this. But sometimes I think that, what my actions are just unnoticed. They're not. They are noticed, and they do notice, and they do pay attention. People do pay attention to the things that you do and how you are, which is why I say always, always, always be genuine in your approach. And if you are excited for a coworker, let them know. Because when you feel those ugly feelings of, oh, well, I don't want to be happy for this person. I don't want to be happy for, well, why? Why would you do that? Why would you not want to be happy for other people? Because everything, like I said, everything that you put out, you're going to get back in. And you don't want negative energy coming back to you. You want to have good, positive energy. That's what makes things great. That's what makes things run smoothly. Because when everybody has that good, positive energy, everybody starts bouncing off each other in a good way. And it's not where, somebody can feel like, oh, well, I'm in charge and, or I'm the coder and you're going to do what I say. It's not that. Sometimes coders, it goes to their head that they can talk to a provider and say, well, you're not going to get credit because you didn't do this. Well, did you try to educate that provider? Did you try? When then I hear, well, yes, but they don't want to listen. Okay, then that's when you have to change your approach. Yes. Do we have to go above and beyond? Yes, because we are the coders. Because remember, when providers are dealing with coders, not every coder is the same. You always want to try to be a high caliber coder, but how do you get there? You have to go above and beyond. And sometimes people don't want to do that. They don't want to do the extra research. They would just rather the provider do the documenting and then they can easily pick it up. It's not always going to happen that way because they're not trained coders. That's not what they're trained for. They're trained to be doctors and surgeons and PAs and nurses and things like that. That's what they're being trained for. So it is our job to partner with them. And that is what we're supposed to do. So for us to pull our weight, we need to work with them. Okay? And working with them by being genuine in our approach and letting our actions speak for us. Because when providers see you going above and beyond where you're trying to look and understand and know and really research and things like that, they'll know, hey, this person is really trying for me. Then let me go ahead and try back with them. So it is so much more to being a medical coder than just oh, well, I know how to look up codes in the book. It is so much more than that. It is good communication skills. It is being able to cultivate relationships with your providers, with your coworkers, and knowing good relationships and knowing when to keep things neutral. Because you will have times when you're not going to get along with a provider or you're not going to get along with your coworker. But how do you deal with it? Again, by being genuinely yourself, but being professional at the same time. Because obviously, if your nature is to be loud when you get upset, obviously you don't want to do that in the workplace. You want to get control of those emotions, which is a lot of what I've done over the past few years, is train myself to get better with expressing what it is that I need from a provider, or what it is I need from a coworker or my boss, or whatever the case may be. I'm always looking to do those things. So it's always about looking in the mirror at yourself when you are looking to improve your outlook and how you are connecting with others. You have to start in here. You have to start with yourself, because a lot of times people don't think, oh, well, I'm not the problem. It's not me. I'm not the problem. Think about it. There's, and if you want to be honest with yourself, there is going to be times when you think in retrospect, oh, I could have handled that a little bit better than I did, right? Everybody goes through that. Yeah, I could have handled that better, or I should have said this, or I should have approached it this way. See, that's the thing. You need to always think of those things, and you always want to strive to just get better. And that's the key. But always mean what you say, and say what you mean. And when you do that, you'll see that people will notice that. And like I said, people have noticed it with me. When you seem sincere, it's because I am. And when I tell you guys that I truly wish that, when you get into this, I wish you the best on your journey. I really do wish you the best on your journey, because I know that for me, when I got into medical coding and I got into this, and never really thinking that it was going to be this much joy, right? It's not that I was going to think that it was going to ever be like that, like who really gets really a lot of joy out of their work like that? But then when I started to really dive into coding and really get into it, and I started learning, I was just like, wow. And now I just can't wait to learn more. And I'm always doing that, and it's not just being at work, now it's being on YouTube and then, doing research and, doing all of those things, and doing the quizzes on Patreon, and, doing, doing all these other things because I want to, and because it is a passion, and because it is a joy. So, but like I said, always, always, always be your true self. And if something is not comfortable for you, as far as like if there's a situation that arises with a coworker or a provider, it's okay to take a time out, and it's okay to just take a break, because in the heat of the moment, things can be said, and you can't, once you get that out, it will not come, you can't take it back, and you don't want to jeopardize any relationships. So if you have to take a step back, or if you have to bring somebody else in to mediate, then do that. There's open door policies all the time with work. So know your chain of command. Know who would be the next person, but always try to settle things on the lowest possible level. Okay, and be genuine with your responses. If something was upsetting to you, stick to the facts. Stick to the facts of what happened, and don't try to drag all of your emotion in it, because at the end of the day, people don't want to know about your emotion. They want to know the facts. They want to know what was true. What can you prove? And that's where you need to always remember that. It's okay to feel those emotions. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to feel frustrated. But how you feel about others is your own business. It's not their business. It's not anybody else's business. It's not your friend's business, your old man, your old lady. It's not anybody else's business but your own. And so once you learn to keep that in check, that is such an incredible feeling, because then it gives you the feeling of, well, I can control how I feel, and I can still work with this person. And I know it's difficult. Oh, it is so difficult. I get it. But at the same time too, when you are a person of action, and you want to let your actions speak louder than words, when you are advocating for a provider that isn't the nicest to you, and then you can see their work go up because you've advocated for them, instead of saying, oh, well, I'm not gonna, as long as you're following the rules and as long as you're doing like you're supposed to, and you're still doing a good job, and you're still doing the detail work for these difficult providers, you'll see them come around. I mean, it's people notice these things, like I said. So that's my message for today. And I just want you guys to just take a look in the mirror at yourself and be honest with yourself on the things that you feel that you can improve, okay? Because everybody can improve. Everybody can improve. It doesn't matter who you are. Everybody can improve. And the most successful people, you'll see them. They're always talking about self-improvement all the time. Those are some of the characteristics that you need to adopt is those self-improvement behaviors. Always wanting to get better, but being genuine about it, and not feeling like you need to be fake, And if you're going to congratulate somebody, be sincere about it. If you're going to speak something, be sincere about it. Be sincere whenever you are telling a provider that they're doing very well, and you don't have to do it overload. But if there's something really genuinely cool about their documentation and you want to share it with them, do it, because they like to get compliments too, but don't do it too much, Obviously you want to just do it, when it is appropriate. Okay. So that's my message for today. So I hope that this helps. But yes, it is all about looking in the mirror at yourself and seeing where you can start to make those changes, but always be genuine and always be true to yourself and be honest with yourself and learn those techniques of being professional. That's the key. So I hope you join me later on in the week when I talk about dealing with coworkers. So I will go ahead and wrap this one up, but I hope that you've hit that thumbs up button, and I will go ahead and wrap this one up. So if you are a medical coder, a medical coding student, somebody curious about the fascinating world of medical coding, a provider or a nurse, I invite you to like and subscribe and follow me on my journey in medical coding. I will see y'all next time. Bye.